This is the matchup we've been waiting for all year. Little Snake River travels to Encampment. This is the undefeated showdown at the 6A or 6-man level. Little Snake River will put a hurting on Encampment. Sorry, Encampment, we love you, but not as much as Little Snake River.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Yeah.
It is the last week of Wyoming High School football.
Yeah.
Rankings aside, it doesn't matter anymore. You know why? Because it's all about the playoffs. And we have some matches that are just going to be absolutely thrilling this week and some playoff implications. We're going to start with the 4A.
All right, let's foray into the 4A.
Let's take the picks.
Yeah.
Now, Laramie, only 2 wins. They have the tiebreaker over Central. They take on Sheridan at home. Now, interestingly enough, I don't think Sheridan will do this, but they are a lock for the #1 spot.
Yeah.
So they literally could just play backups this game.
Doesn't matter. They still win.
All right, so you're taking Sheridan over Laramie.
I do. They could put the freshman team in.
Okay.
No, I'm just
kidding.
kidding. I don't know.
Laramie will need Central to lose this week in order to get in and play Sheridan back up at their own place.
Yeah.
So that's the first one we have both in agreement that Sheridan's going to win that game.
Something going on in the pipeline up there, Dirk. They could trot out like the 7th grade team of whatever junior high, and they'd be in contention, apparently.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Central goes up to Natrona County.
Yeah, this is big.
This is huge. Central has to win this game in order to have any hopes of being in the playoffs. Now, they have 2 scenarios. If they win this game, they theoretically could take either Kelly Walsh's spot or Laramie's spot and sneak even into the 7th spot if they win. Now, that's a big if. That is a huge order to go up to Cheney Field and beat the Mustangs at their home field. Mike, what do you think the outcome of this game is going to be?
I am going to go pick a shocker and pick Central to get it done, Dirk. I think that this team over the last, heavy machinery, and that's a good segue into heavy machinery, and by that I mean the running of Tyrone Richards. Central has a ground game that's gotten better. Richards, as a sophomore, has been pretty impressive. They hung right in there with East, who is a pretty good team. And they hung in there with Campbell County, who beat up on Natrona earlier this year. Central's played everyone really but Sheridan close this year. I think they finally win one of these close games and make the playoffs.
There you go. I'm taking Central in this one too. Now, here's a really interesting one. Rock Springs, who makes its way into the top 5 rankings again, goes to Kelly Walsh. They'll be playing Kelly Walsh on the grass field. We saw that I don't even know what type of offense to call it. Maybe just goal line offense all time. The victory formation. Who takes it in this one? Tigers at Kelly Walsh.
Oh man, this is tough. You know what? I was not impressed with Kelly Walsh's formations last week, but they have one of the best all-around players that I've seen this year, and playing at home, I think Kelly Walsh edges this out, which is devastating for Central. Because I think what's going to happen is Central is going to win and pull off a shocker and still get left out of the playoffs because Kelly Walsh also gets a win on their home field.
Absolutely could happen. All right, after that we have South traveling to Thunder Basin. The South break its 40-plus game losing streak.
They do not. No, unfortunately. Thunder Basin get some momentum headed into the postseason. Thunder Basin.
All right, and then the big showdown this week at the 4A level, probably a postseason semifinals matchup.
Could be.
Campbell County hosts East High, the Thunderbirds, up at their location. I think that's a grass field too.
Yeah.
Who wins this one, Mike? Does the East High Thunderbirds pull off a shocker and upset the Drubidsky?
I don't know that it's that much of a shocker. I think these are the 2 best matched teams in 4A, Dirk. I think it's a really, really good matchup. I am going to go ahead and stick with the home team on this one, though, Dirk. I think it's going to be potentially a rematch in like the state semifinals that you talked about, but I like Campbell County eking this out. This will be, I think, your best game of the week and closest game.
And really, realistically, what this is for is home field advantage for the semifinal game. So I think East High travels up there, gets it done.
Okay.
And we'll be playing at Okie in the semifinal game. So that's your 4A matchups. Mike, we go down to 3A. 3A has some very interesting matchups. Powell takes on Evanston in Evanston. Powell right now is in the 5 rankings. Now, The winner of this game gets the 4 spot in the playoffs, Mike. Powell goes down to Evanston. Who do you got?
Yeah, we haven't talked a whole lot about Evanston this year, which probably means they're not like a powerhouse. I'm going to stick with Powell on this. Don't know a whole lot about Evanston this year, but I'm going to stick with Powell.
We love Powell. However, David Putty's team and the Devils get this one done.
The Devils.
After that, you have probably the best matchup in the two-way this week. It is Cokeville, the number 4 team, going up to Lovell, a Bighorn Basin showdown.
Yeah.
Now, this one has some playoff implications as well. Lovell, I think, played, the 2 best teams, Bighorn and Mountain View, to start off and lost by a single possession. I think Lovell gets this one done. You'll see them maybe be a dark horse candidate for the state championship.
You took it there.
Yeah.
The dark horse. I'm going to take it to the band of the darkness. Do you believe in a thing called Lovell? Yeah. There we go. Lovell does
Quit it.
Yeah.
Quidditch.
Quidditch.
It's too windy for this
We
right
couldn't
now.
play Quidditch right now.
No, you could.
Aren't
the beaters the ones that have to? The beaters would have a great time doing it.
This is a whole different segment. I will someday explain why Quidditch is the dumbest game ever crafted. Entirely different segment.
Fictional, Mike.
It doesn't matter. It's bad fiction. We'll get into it later.
All right. Kemmerer. Now this one's the playoff implication of the week.
Yeah.
Kemmerer takes on Worland. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if Worland wins out, they have the tiebreaker, right? And they will go on to the playoff. If they lose, though, Thermopolis with a win has the 3-way tiebreaker because they beat Mountain View last week, Mike.
Man, you don't want to fall into the geysers either right now.
Getting cooked.
Man, Oh man, I like Worland, Derek. I think Worland gets it done, but you've introduced Hot Springs County into the mix, and that always makes things
This is
interesting.
ridiculous. Well, you know what? We need a little bit of cooking right now, and maybe Russ could learn something from the cooking in, Thermopolis. So
Yeah.
we're taking Thermopolis, even though that's not even the matchup. All right, after that,
We're taking Thermopolis in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9-man.
Quidditch.
Now,
Yeah.
this is like the best matchups out of any category this week, except for the 6A
Oh,
or
man.
6-man. Okay, you have the Southeast Cyclones traveling over to Pine Bluffs. They're taking on Pine. This one has some implications for the playoffs, Mike. Who you got in that one?
Yeah, Pine Bluffs gets it done, Dirk. That's a tough matchup between Hornets and Cyclones, though, man. Yeah, you don't want to get in the middle of it. That's like a Sharknado, but with Hornets. Sounds terrible. Yeah.
Well, you know what? The Cyclones are getting this one. The Yoder boys take on
man.
Pine, and they're going to take down Pine. After
right.
that, you have Saratoga going to Lingle Fort Laramie.
Yeah.
Lingle Fort Laramie has just been dominant all year. You gotta take Lingle in this one, but Panthers have a decent chance at an upset, I think, especially
Lingle.
going into the last week of the season.
Yeah.
Down to the 6-man. This is the matchup we've been waiting for
is it.
all year. Little Snake River travels to Encampment. This is the undefeated showdown at the 6A or 6-man level. Little Snake River will put a hurting on Encampment. Sorry, Encampment, we love you, but not as much as Little Snake River.
Yeah, Encampment keeps it close, and they, keep it within 65.
Absolutely.